Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rachel and I am knitting. Not right now, but most of the time. And I will be knitting, so I'm going to take you along for the ride. So I'm currently in Scotland. This is the second installment of the recap series where I'm bringing you through my stitching in Scotland and Shetland with Rachel tour. So if you're new here, not only is my name Rachel, but I also host knitting tours. So I work with a company called Knitting Tours to arrange some really fabulous trips. I have 5 this year in 2026 and I think 6 planned next year, 2027, and I'm already planning 2028. So it's really fast paced over here, but I'm just having the best time on the first tour of 2026. And I've been taking you along with me. So if you haven't seen the recap for days 1 and 2, you might want to go check those out or that out. So you're all caught up. But right now is the morning of day 3 of our tour. Today is Sunday, April 26th, and we have a very exciting day ahead of us because we are going to the Shetland Islands. I mean, we won't be there today, but today is really when we start our actual proper journey on the ferry through the North Sea to get to the Shetland Islands, which is really the showstopper of the trip. These are very special islands, very remote, basically almost, I think they're closer to Norway than they are to Scotland, but they're part of Scotland. But really they're their own thing. So really exciting. I've been to the Shetland Islands once before in 2024, and I'm really excited to bring my new friends with me on this trip. So for this morning, I'm looking at my messy collection of things. This morning is a little different than a typical knitting tour morning because instead of gathering all of our, treasures, and getting them on the bus, we have to be a little strategic with our planning. So basically, we need to have an overnight bag packed because what we're doing is we're walking on to the Northlink Ferry, which will take us overnight to the Shetland Islands. Meanwhile, our large luggage is going to be in the belly of the boat, the belly of the ship. So we won't have any access to our big luggage. We will only have the things we want overnight with us in our ferry cabin because the ferry cabins are quite small, and especially for people like Leslie and me who are sharing a cabin, there's just not going to be room for our bodies and our luggage. So obviously we're going to prioritize ourselves so we ourselves fit in the cabins. So here's my overnight bag. I've got my clothes for our first day on Shetland when we wake up tomorrow. I've got my pajamas, my toiletries. I've got my knitting bag, my hairbrush, yada. And then I'll carry this on as well. Some more knitting bags. I've got my coat, my scarf. I'm going to carry on my backpack and, it's a whole thing. So that took a little bit more organizing and forethought to pack accordingly when we were getting everything ready last night and this morning. But I think we're pretty much good to go. So yeah, other things we're doing today are we're going to the V&A Dundee, which is a design-focused museum. It's an offshoot of the V&A London. I've never been there to the V&A London. I'd love to go one day. I have been to the V&A Dundee. In fact, I went there last year, but the day we went last year was the day that we started off at a whiskey distillery. And I had a cocktail and then I had like the small whiskey sampler. So it's not like I was being irresponsible, but that like threw me for a loop. Okay, it put me through the ringer. It made me so tired and sleepy. I was like a bear ready to hibernate. So I did not really make the most of my visit at the V&A Dundee last year, I hate to tell you. So this year I'm hoping to be more intentional and more like mentally present and not sleepy and tired so I can really fully enjoy the exhibit. They have rolling exhibits, so it's going to be different than what we saw last year anyway, so it will be fresh and new and exciting. So we're starting with that. after breakfast, of course, and I'll take you down to breakfast with us. And then after the V&A, we're leaving Dundee and we're making our way to Aberdeen, which is where we'll catch the Northlink ferry. But on our way, we are going to stop at Glamis Castle. It's spelled like it would be pronounced Glamis, but it's pronounced Glams. And it's a pink castle. I was telling this to Leslie yesterday because she loves pink, but I was like, it's not like your pink, it's like pink stone. It's as pink as stone can be. So it's like muted, you know, it's a bunch of rocks that are pink toned. So that's exciting. And it's haunted. So we'll hear some ghost stories, I think, on the tour. I went there also in 2024, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. So we'll have a tour of Glamis Castle. We will have an included lunch, so soup and sandwich lunch at the Glamis Castle Cafe. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Glamis Castle has a herd of Highland coos. So maybe we'll be able to see them. Yeah, and like go up to the fence and, you know, say hello to the cows. Yeah, so then after that, we're getting on the bus, and we got to be on it today because usually, I mean, we have a schedule every day, but it's not life or death. I mean, it's still not life or death today, but it's not make or break if we're a few minutes late here or there. We try to stay on time as much as possible, but today we have to stay on time because we have to get on the ferry. We don't want to miss the boat to the Shetland Islands. So that's the plan for today. V&A Dundee, Glamis Castle, get on the Northlink ferry, and then we'll be on there overnight. So we're going to have dinner on the Northlink ferry. We'll wake up, we'll have breakfast, and then we'll disembark, and we will be on Shetland. So come along with me. I'll bring you along throughout the day and get excited. Grab your knitting, grab something, you know, like a dog or something, or a cat to cuddle up with. I don't know, whatever. I don't know your life. Just get comfortable and let's go. Okay, I'm not leaving the hotel room yet. We're going to go down to breakfast in a little bit, but I wanted to walk you through one of the fun perks of coming on a knitting tour with me. So if you're anything like me, you might, you know, have a lot of treasures that you need to lug around with you when you are going from place to place. So when you're on a knitting tour, you get one bag portered, I think is the correct verb. You get one bag portered. Porterage is included in your tour. So we're provided with luggage tags from Knitting Tours, Irish Tourism, and we put it outside our door at the allotted time every morning. And porters come and bring it to the bus for us. So we're not responsible for whatever bag we choose to put that tag on. Most people, like I've done, put it on their big honkers. And yeah, so today we need our bags out by 8:30. Just going to put it in the hallway and it will magically be on the bus. And our guide, Kirsty, makes sure, and Bobby, our driver, make sure that the bag count is correct, that there are no missing bags. We don't leave unless that is checked off. So that is that. Basically, all the other bags are our responsibility. So as the tour goes on, our responsibility tends to grow because we keep collecting things. But this big bag, I don't have to worry about hauling throughout the hotels. We don't have porterage on the Northlink ferry, like I mentioned. These will just go in the belly of the ship, so we don't have to worry about it then. But yeah, that's the story. So I'm just gonna go put it outside the door and I'll be right back. Last but not least, let me tell you about what I'm wearing today. This is the Olive and Bean Grown Up sweater by Andrea Mowry, and I knitted up in Honey and Quill. McKenna is a indie dyer based out of Boston, and the contrast color is Wisteria, this really beautiful purple. The main color is Fairywinkle, which is a collaborative colorway that McKenna made in partnership with me. So this is its second wear outside the house. Very exciting. Very big day for this sweater. It's just so hot, so I don't wear it at home. I live in a subtropical climate, which is very different from the Scottish climate. So it's grand day out number 2. Let's go. Leslie is very strategically packing her suitcase.
Very cool. Tetris over here.
Yeah, you're very good at your Tetris.
Look at my cute bag.
So cute. Moo.
I think I'm gonna wear it when we go to Brissy that day.
Good idea. Bags are gone. They've been porterage stitched. Okay, so now that our big bags were portered, here's what I have that I'm responsible for to bring to the bus. I've got my carry-on suitcase, my backpack, my overnight duffel, and my knitting, paraphernalia. Okay, I am ready to head to the bus. I'm heading out to the bus before Leslie. I left her in the room. I really like to be the first one on the bus so I can say good morning to everyone as they get on the bus. So that's what I'm doing. There's Bobby. He's probably gonna think, what is wrong with her? Why is she so early? Okay, I've dropped most of my stuff off with Bobby. And since it's so early, it's 8:26 and we're not leaving until 9, I guess it is a little premature to get on the bus. So I'm just gonna walk around and look at some of these beautiful cherry blossoms outside the hotel. I love being here in spring because you really get to see so many beautiful blooms. I've seen so many beautiful daffodils and tulips and cherry blossoms. I haven't really seen any fuchsia yet, so I'm really looking forward to that. But, and seeing gorse and Scotch broom. One year I would love to come when the heather is in bloom. That would just be a dream come true. So our first stop, the V&A, is probably literally a 2-minute drive from here. I'm guessing, I don't know, it might be 5 minutes. It's an incredibly quick drive. So we're not really pressed for time now. And of course I'm early, but it'll be a nice kind of chill morning. Like I said earlier, the timing that really, really counts is making sure we get to the ferry on time. That's what matters most. But the V&A, it's just a stone's throw away. So that will be a really quick trip, and then we'll be there ready to start the day. Okay, so this is where I've kind of set up camp. I'm sitting in the front row on the left-hand side, so I get a nice view of Bobby, our driver, and I get to see out the front window, and then I also get views from the side, which is really nice. But that's not why I chose to sit here. I chose to sit here because I want to be close to Kirsty, our guide, in case there are any hiccups or scheduling issues. She can just lean back and chat to me and we can troubleshoot together. So it's a good system that we've worked out, I think. And I've got a nice tray table. So I'm just going to set up my knitting and enjoy some peace and quiet before all my friends show up. Let me know in the comments where on the bus you would choose. Are you a front of the bus person? Would you go to the back? Would you sit somewhere in the middle? Let me know. So remember how I said I was really early for the bus because it was 8:26 and we leave at 9? Well, I just reviewed the itinerary on my tour that I'm hosting. We leave at 9:45. Leslie just said, it's 9:02. Where is everybody? And then we looked at the itinerary and we leave at 9:45. So we've just been sitting here knitting, talking to Bobby, having a great time. So Bobby left for a second, but I think when he gets back, we'll just continue our lovely chat and, wait out the clock.
Yeah, why not?
We're having a great time with Bobby.
Just chilling.
Chilling, knitting, hanging with our new friend Bobby. So, you know, this is the life. Okay, we made it to the V&A. Originally, the itinerary allowed us a half an hour to do this. You taking a picture of me talking to myself? More behind the scenes. Yes, behind the scenes. So we had half an hour to get here originally, but it took us like 2 minutes, literally so fast. And now Bobby's going to park somewhere safe while we have our little time walking around the V&A enjoying the exhibit. I brought my knitting just in case, because you just never know when there's going to be a moment to sit and knit. So I'm stopping at the gift shop before I walk through the museum, and since the current exhibition is called Catwalk, it's all about fashion. They've got some cool like fashion related stuff in the gift shop, and I saw this and I thought this would be great for measuring my gauge, but also it reminds me of going shoe shopping with my grandma as a kid, so it just makes me happy, and it's only £3.50. So I thought it would be useful for my knitting and also good for my heart. So I'm gonna get it. Morgan, are you getting a makeover?
Yes, well, let me get back. Okay.
Oh, wow. Ooh, I like that, Morgan.
I think I could rock that. I don't know about
I don't
that.
think that's for you. Ooh, ooh. I want to try this. I want to do the pretty ones Morgan did. Oh, I just saw myself.
That's gorgeous.
I don't know what this one is supposed to be. You know those books in the library at school growing up with like the Halloween makeup? You know, I like this one. I like this one. I think this one's my favorite. Yeah. Beautiful. Every time I come to the V&A, I think this would be great next to a knitting chair if you put a bottom on it. And it's basically a big yarn bowl, right? You can just feed through. I don't know what it actually is. I suppose I could find out. A fire basket. Okay. Multi-purpose. Voiceover Rachel here. One of my favorite parts of visiting the V&A this year was getting to see the Thread Memory Embroidery from Palestine exhibit. This exhibit was breathtaking, not only from the perspective of really wanting to honor and protect these art forms and their significance historically and culturally for the Palestinian people, but also from the perspective of a textile artist myself. I really enjoyed and appreciated getting to learn about this art form, this Tatriz embroidery. This is an art form that I would really love to learn more about, so I was really appreciative of the V&A for having this exhibit. It was so educational and it really touched my heart. It's emotional to think about because if you think about all of the time and effort and skill and love that you put into something that you knit or crochet or weave or spin, and you magnify that by an entire culture of people, the fact that this is being preserved is so important. But even more important is that we all work towards a world where this art and the people who make it are protected and respected in the real world outside of exhibits like this. Okay. Okay, there's no one in here right now, so I thought I would show you what the bathrooms are like here. Because I know some of you are watching at home and you don't travel, so here's what a Scottish bathroom can look like. We've got floor to ceiling doors, and you go in, there's the toilet, we've got trash, we've got toilet paper, and look, when you're in here, there's no gaps in between the stall doors. No one can see you when you're doing your business. And then here's the sink. Sometimes the soap is automatic. Right now, the water's automatic. And then here's how you dry your hands. Sometimes there are paper towels, but often it's a very high-powered jet towel. Look how strong this is. This might be unconventional to have in a vlog, but I would want to know this stuff. Anyway, that's a typical bathroom. The more you know. All right, that was really fun. I definitely made the most of that compared to my visit last year. I really, really loved the Threads of Memory, the Palestinian embroidery exhibit. That was very somber. And got to walk around with some other people, chat in the lobby. And now I'm just outside getting some fresh air. I think I'm gonna walk by the RSS Discovery, which is docked, stored. It lives here in Dundee, right by the V&A. And this is one of, I think, the first Antarctic expedition ships in the early 1900s. Listen, I'm not signing up for that anytime soon. I'm expanding tours. I want to add a lot of new offerings as my Rachel is Knitting shenanigans grow and expand. And cruises are something that I would love to add at some point. And Jill was like, I want to go on an Antarctic knitting tour cruise. And I said, you're going to have to book with someone else because I'm not interested in that. Sorry. I'm not doing that. But yeah, if you're ever in Dundee and you want to learn about this Arctic exposition from the early 1900s, come visit the RSS Discovery and it'll be pretty interesting whether or not you want to go. Okay, I'm here with my new friend, Kathy. Tell me what your favorite part of the trip so far.
That I'm in Scotland knitting.
Can't beat it.
Nope.
Look, they're just brand new. Look at that. This is us at Glamis Castle. So the old Queen Mother was born here and her family was the Lyon family, Lyon, and so there's lots of lions all around the place at Glamis. So on the left coming up is what we call a dovecot. It's a dovecot, so a pigeon loft. It's very, very pretty. I know it's nice. I could live in that quite happily. Although not with the pigeons, as we've established.
No birds.
No birds allowed.
Okay, we made it to Glamis Castle. We're walking in. We've got to go through the gift shop and Kirsty's going to show us where to meet for the tour and for lunch and all that good stuff. Okay, now that we know where to meet for the tour, we're heading to see the Highland cows. I was telling Leslie the other day that I think just whenever we are in Scotland is when the good weather will be, because look at this beautiful day. Amazing. What do you think so far?
Well, they have Highland cows, so I love it. Cows is luncheon?
Okay, we just finished up at Glamis Castle. which you can see behind me. We had a lovely tour and then a soup and sandwich lunch. And now it's time to get back on the bus, and we are going to head to Aberdeen to catch the Northlink ferry.
So you use your breakfast token for breakfast, and the one that says dinner and breakfast you use for your dinner.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay, luggage is loaded and we are walking onto the ferry. We're on the boat. We're in the cabin.
Yay!
This is what our cabin looks like. It is an outside berth cabin, which just means we are on the outside berth, which means we get a window. And actually this is perfect because this, well, I don't know. Assuming it's the same as last time. Last time the people who had an outside berth on the way to Shetland had an inside berth on the way home, which means we'll have the 2 bunks on top, which means we'll have more space because we'll be coming back with more things. Yeah, so this is Leslie's bed. This is my bed. And we got a little nightstand here and a little tea and coffee area, little place to hang up. And oh, I already feel wavy. Did you feel that? Oh, I felt it. And then the restroom. I'm going to take some Dramamine. I don't know if I get seasick. I was fine on the ferry crossing 2 years ago, but I felt like I was walking on water and like this for a few days afterwards. So I don't know. I figured I'd try taking Dramamine this time and see if that helps. Yeah, a few people said it's not going to do a big fat anything, Rachel. And I said, okay, great, but worth a try. I also brought something else that might help. So these help you stay level, and like there's blue liquid in them, so it helps you see where the horizon is. Isn't that handy?
Yeah, super handy.
I've never felt more beautiful. Okay, do you want to go on the observation deck and look around? Let me get bundled up. I wish my green hat was done, but I'm actually about to start the cable row, but that would be perfect to wear. If you are thinking about signing up for a future tour that includes a ferry ride to Shetland, you might keep this video in mind and how small the cabin is, and think about the person you would room it with. And do you really want to share this small space with them? I don't mind with Leslie. I wouldn't mind with DJ, but it needs to be a special person. So be thinking of this as you book the tour with me. Do you want a single cabin? Do you want a shared cabin? These things are really important to keep in mind because I can almost stretch my hands out and touch both walls. So it's just food for thought.
There are very few people at this point in my life who I would share a cabin this small with.
I'm honored. Shall we go observe? Come with us. Welcome to the deck. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's cinema. Okay, hello from our cabin. From our beds. We're ready for the night to be inside time now. We had a great dinner. We knit with a bunch of other people on the tour, ate dinner together, laughed, joked, but the motion of the ocean is you know, causing a commotion. So here we are. We're just going to take it easy. There's a TV right behind you that we're watching. So Leslie just put on Freakier Friday. I've got my knitting. Leslie will probably get her Kindle out at some point. I brought my Kindle too, but you know, it is what it is at this point. So, you know, you're attached to a gimbal, so you didn't feel that just now. Did you feel that? So we're just going to call it a night, relax in the, I was going to say the hotel room, but in the cabin, and we'll wake up tomorrow morning on Shetland. And so I'll update you then. Anything they need to know?
No.
That's all you need to know. Okay, so good night, and I'll see you on Shetland tomorrow. Bye. Good morning, and welcome to Shetland. We've just docked at the Lerwick dock, harbor area, and here we are. We are all ready for the day, and we're gonna go get breakfast. And then, so, okay, let me give you a little bit more information. It is 7:30 on Monday, April 27th. We need to disembark by 8:30, so we'll go eat, maybe go up to the deck, and then we'll come back, grab all our things, and disembark. And then we'll be on Shetland. Leslie's getting a selfie with her potato scone because she loves them so much.
So, the Shetland Hotel, this is actually the back of the Shetland Hotel. This is the rear entrance. The main entrance is up there, and so for obvious reasons, we can't get the coach up there. So we are gonna, every single day, go in and out of the Shetland Hotel through this back entrance here. And then there's a lift that takes you up to reception and to the rooms. Shetland then is made up of about 100 islands. Only some of them, only about 13, 16 of them or something, are inhabited. There's lots and lots of uninhabited islands that make up the Shetland archipelago. But you're currently on mainland. So this is what this big island in the middle is called. But this is on mainland. And actually today we'll be going on to 3 other islands to get on to get to see Burra Bears. So very, very quickly you'll have ticked off 4 islands. Mainland, Trondra, East and West Burra to get to Burra Bears. This department store coming up on the right hand side, that's where you're going to look if you want additional luggage. I can't believe I'm saying it. We're parallel with Commercial Street, known to the Shetlanders as Dust Street. So okay, this is, if you look up these little vennels, you'll see Commercial Street, which is where all the shops are.
Okay, we're on the second coach of the day on Shetland. We had to switch to a smaller bus, and we are on our way to Burra Bears. You're gonna like this YouTube recap more than my 2024 YouTube recap, I hope, because I have a gimbal now, and the horizon won't be like this, hopefully, in the shots of the scenery. So let me show you what it looks like. Okay, we're a little ahead of schedule, so Kirsty had our Shetland driver David drop us off at this beautiful viewpoint. We're gonna take some pictures. We're gathering to take a group photo. Pretend like you like each other. You'll have to act, ladies. Just lay down here like... I'll cradle your head. Thank you. Shetland! This is so fun. Okay, we got our pictures. Now it's time to get back on the bus. Okay, we made it to Burra Bears, so we're gonna go in and meet Wendy and hear her talk about the history of Burra Bears, how it got started, and where it is now. They filmed Shetland here in the house. This is a filming location. So Wendy invited us into her home studio and told us all about the history of Burra bears. Basically, Wendy takes old sweaters or scrap fabric of Fair Isle or lace or anything that people send in, and she turns them into these most adorable teddy bears. I mean, they're so cute. Here's Wendy holding up the first 2 Burra bears ever made, and she showed us how all sorts of different fabrics, even lace, incredible, can be turned into these absolutely adorable bears. It was really special to be invited into Wendy's home studio, and I really want a Burra bear one day. They are in high demand. All of these are custom orders ready to ship out, and it's just so cool to see all the ways people can be creative with knitwear and textiles. Thanks so much for hosting my group, Wendy. I will be back. After our visit at Burra Bears, it was time to load back on the coach and make our way to the Lyric Hotel for our included lunch. This was such a great lunch spot, including a beautiful water view. I mean, hello, Shetland is incredible. I had the fish cakes. They were absolutely delicious, and of course the best part of any meal is seeing other people knitting. You are not the odd one out. After that, we stopped by Neil and Elle's studio. Like before, since this studio is rather small, we were split up into 2 groups, so half of us got to hear about the history of Neil and Elle and also some of their design ethos, while the other half did some shopping in the Hoosick area. Hello from day 1 on Shetland. So I think the last time I spoke to you face to face, like for a real chat, was on the boat still. And I just want to update you. I'm really going through it today. I look quite ragged, but whatever. I'm at a little beach on the Shetland Islands, and we just finished up at Neil and Elle. We split our group up into 2, so I was part of the first group that got to listen in at Neil and Elle, and I popped my head into the Shetland Woolen Company, which was a shop just right by, and then walked down to this little beach. This is actually a beach I walked down to with my friends that I met on the 2024 Shetland tour that I went on, and it's just so peaceful here. I don't know how Shetland can't, like, how can it not radicalize you? These views, like, all I want to do after visiting Shetland is save the world, because we can't let this go away. You know what I mean? It's so beautiful here. If you haven't been to Shetland, you need to. You need to. The weather continues to be absolutely fabulous. There's been some clouds, but you can see behind me maybe the sky is blue, and over here it does look like it might be a little stormy, but I have no complaints. No matter what the weather is, I'm on Shetland, and I'm gonna have a magical time. Our next stop is Jarlshof, which is a prehistoric settlement site. Very cool. So I'm excited to take you along there. And then we're gonna try and go see puffins at Sumburgh Head. So cross your fingers, clench your butts, that we'll get up close and personal with those puffins. I didn't get to do that last time, so I'm really hoping we get to see some. Okay, let me show you what our Shetland bus looks like. We are on a 39-seater, small and cozy for our Shetland days. to Jarlshof. So we have about 45 minutes of free time and we're just exploring this incredible site. There's Kirsty, our guide up there. Everybody wave to Kirsty. This is so cool and so historical, and it reminds me of when I was a little kid and my sister and I, this was before my younger sister, when my sister Anna and I were little, before Ellie was born, and we would be at my grandma's house. There was a park out like just past her backyard, and we would go on walks through there, and there was this tree that had like nooks and crannies, and you know, we like pretended that tree was our house, and you know, one side of the tree with a bunch of knobs and little holes was our kitchen. And I just feel like I would have so much fun if little girl Rachel was here pretending this was her house. It's making my heart feel really happy. Do you see this feat of engineering?
It's a feat of engineering.
It's a feat of engineering. In one of those caves, Jill said she loves touching old things, and then she touched one of the rocks, and then she touched me. I'm only 36. So I think next we're gonna go to Sumburgh Head, which is this, I think, if I'm correct, it's this mound up in the distance. We're gonna try and see puffins there. Rachel Antonitz and I have this thing where we buy each other souvenir yarn when we go on trips, and I still need to get her yarn from this trip. I almost, when I was planning projects to bring, I almost brought some yarn she had bought me, and now I'm wishing I had, because it would have been very poetic to work on a project with yarn Rachel Antonitz got me while I was at an archaeologically significant site. What was I thinking? We made it up to Sumburgh Head, so we're walking just a little bit up the hill here to this, or at least that's what I'm doing, to this wooden viewpoint. The lighthouse is further up the hill, and there's time for people to go up there if they want, but it's not for me today. So I'm just gonna go about halfway up and see if I can see any puffins. There's Kate up there. She's going up to the lighthouse. Morgan just spotted some puffins. We found them. They're over here on this little ledge. There's a bunch over there on this rock too. Give you an idea of how far away we are. Pretty dang far. Okay, never mind. I just used my phone zoom, and these are not puffins at all. Forget all of that. Okay, Morgan, I blame you for the false alarm.
No, it wasn't me. I was listening to the ladies up the hill that were crying and yelling about them. It wasn't me. I was just pointing out to you, my dear.
Okay.
Not me.
You're absolved.
Thank you.
Absolved. Even if they aren't puffins, this is still a pretty phenomenal view. Like, look at the difference in the color between the different areas of the water. Like down here, look at that blue against the cliffs. And if we look over here, I mean, are you serious? See what I mean? Like, after you visit here, it's just so, it's like so in your face how beautiful the world is, and we just have to do better. We just have to. Okay, we made it to the Shetland Hotel. and we're heading to our room. We have a real key. Oh, here we are on the end. Oh, very nice. We've got a nice view of the water and the ferry terminal. Okay, so now that we've got all of our stuff back, well, there's some lights. Or now that we're back at the hotel, all of our stuff is already in our room because we dropped it off at the hotel before we zipped around the Shetland Islands. So I think we've been to 4 islands today in total. Yeah, 4 islands, 4 of the many Shetland Islands. Normally porterage is just for your main luggage, your big honker, but the hotel was so nice and brought all of our bags. As long as they had our names with them, they knew what room to put them in. So all of our stuff is waiting nicely for us. Now let me give you a quick tour of the room. So as you saw when we walked in, we've got 2 beds, Leslie, Rachel, and we've got a nice little table, a dresser with a TV. We've got the view of the water out the window. And then we also have a little desk right here, a little coffee and tea station. We've got a luggage area, some shelves, extra blanket up here, and let's check out the bathroom. Ooh, there's a tub. Got a nice bathtub, sink, a mirror, and a toilet. So we've got about an hour until dinner. So
2 hours until dinner. It's 5:30.
2 hours, that's even better. I thought, wow, an hour, that's great to have some quiet time. But 2 hours. So I'm going to freshen up, and then I think I'm going to go knit somewhere because we're on Shetland. We just had a very nice little pre-dinner knitting circle over here in the bar, and now we're heading to our table for dinner. Okay, we are done with dinner. We're back in the hotel room. I am so tired. So Leslie's using the bathroom right now. When she's out of the shower, I'll brush my teeth, wash my face, yada, 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 get in my pajamas. Well, I can do that now after I stop recording. Okay, that's none of your business. Time to get ready for bed. Tomorrow we have a full day. Let's see. Have I been vlogging for 2 days? Yeah. So I guess it's time to end this installment of the Stitching in Scotland and Shetland tour. So thanks for coming along. I hope that you'll hit subscribe so you are back for the next installment when I upload it. And you should, because tomorrow is really exciting. We are taking a ferry to Bressa Island, which is one of the Shetland Islands. It's just a quick ferry that away. And we will be on Bressa for most of the day because we're going to visit Garth's Croft and talk with the crofter, Chris Dyer. He is an archaeologist. He knits, he crofts. So I'm excited to meet him and learn more about what his life looks like here on the Shetland Islands. And then we'll be there most of the day. He's going to show us his croft, introduce us to some very fresh new baby lambs, and it's going to be a fabulous time. So hit the subscribe button, make sure you're here, you come back for the next installment. I'm going to get ready for bed, and I just want to say a huge thank you. This, I can't believe, is my life, but it is, and it's largely thanks to you and your support. And I'm just endlessly grateful. And I hope that I can keep showing you that as these trips continue. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. And I hope that you're doing well. I hope you're working on something that's bringing you joy. And if it's not, put it down, because life is too short to suffer through the hobby we do for enjoyment. So that ends day 4 of the knitting tour recap. And I'll see you back here for the next installment that will start with day 5. Bye, everybody.